Welcome to this introductory webinar on the LLM in Criminal Justice at Queen Mary. My name is Amber Marks and I'm the Academic Coordinator of this LLM specialism. Thank you for joining me today and congratulations on securing your places on the programme. I don't normally get the opportunity to meet students until September. This year, in light of the pandemic, we thought we'd reach out earlier in the year to welcome you and to go over the basic structure of the programme and answer any questions you have. The information is all available online, but we thought that this session might help to bring the programme to life and to give you something to look forward to. So I'm going to share some slides with you now. So I'm going to mute the camera, but there will be time for questions and answers, as Petrova said, via the Q&A chat, and I will read the questions and answer them to all of you. Firstly, why do I congratulate you on securing your place and what do you have to look forward to? Or in other words, why QM for criminal justice? Well, as you probably know, the School of Law has consistently been ranked in the top 10 law schools in the UK for the quality of our research and our teaching, and many of our academic staff act as advisors to governments, industry and NGOs, both nationally and internationally. We have dedicated law career advisors who organise events and internship opportunities with top UK and international law firms. We offer a critical thinking and writing in law programme designed to improve your writing and research skills. In terms of the resources that you will have access to, Queen Mary Library at Mile End provides access to all the main British, European and international textbooks, law reports and periodicals. And through the University of London College Network, students have access to an unrivaled range of electronic law journals and databases. Queen Mary provides free access to extensive online databases and collections, which you will become increasingly familiar with. LexisNexis, Westlaw, Justice, YourLex, Hein Online, and Business Source Complete. We also have CLUA arbitration reports, Oxford Scholarship online reports of patent design and trademark cases, UK statute law database, and United Nations treaty collection. In addition to the Queen Mary Library and the British Library, which is absolutely fantastic, postgraduate students are able to access the well-stocked law library at the University of London's Institute of Advanced Legal Studies. Why study criminal justice? Well, I expect this is something you've already thought about, and I'm sure we all agree that it is a fascinating topic as well as hugely important policy area. And the LLM in criminal justice at Queen Mary has a particularly global outlook, and you will gain an in-depth comparative knowledge of criminal justice systems around the world, including their international, regional and transnational interactions. Not only will you understand different systems, so different national systems of criminal justice, but you will also investigate the challenges that police, prosecutors, judges and policymakers face in a global environment. Upon completion of your studies, you will be well equipped to pursue careers not only in law, but also in government and policy sectors, NGOs and law enforcement. And the LLM can also lead, and very often does, lead to further postgraduate research. One of the great strengths of Queen Mary is the students that we attract, and your fellow students will come from the UK and more than 80 other countries, and each are able to draw on prior academic and often professional experience from their different jurisdictions. And there's a lot to be said for our academics too. So you will have the opportunity to be taught by and engage on a one-to-one basis with world-leading experts in the field, as well as learning about fascinating areas of law. Now, we don't have time today to look at different videos of our academics addressing public audiences, but you can Google us, as I've done with the links on the slide here, to see videos of those who will be teaching you in small groups on the programme. I wanted to draw your attention to two of our research centres. Now, we have several dedicated research centres at QM, but the two I want to draw your attention to in particular. Firstly, we have the Criminal Justice Centre, and all of those on our teaching team are members of this centre. It's a very active research centre. The members are drawn from both academia and the legal profession, and it is a forum for providing advice and training to the judiciary, governments, law enforcement bodies and charities from all around the world. Now, as students on the LLM in criminal justice, you will be invited to the centre's seminars, lectures, workshops and conferences. And also you will be invited to contribute to the recently launched and very successful COVID-19 blog series, which I would encourage you to take a look at. In terms of events and speakers, we draw on a large network of experts at Queen Mary, and even within the seminar groups you will have guest speakers of the likes, so in the past we've had the Chief Executive of Wikipedia, Catherine Mayer, we've had the Chief Security Officer at Facebook, the Director of Intelligence at the National Crime Agency, who actually relished the opportunity to discuss their work in small groups with students. The other centre that I wanted to draw your attention to is the International State Crime Initiative. It's an interdisciplinary forum for research, reporting, training and debate on state violence and corruption. And it's based at QM, and its members do teach on the LLM in criminal justice. It also has volunteering opportunities which might be of interest to you, and you will be contacted at the beginning of the academic year with details of how to apply. Okay, in terms of what you will learn, I've included here just some images of some of the books published by the academics who will be teaching on this programme. You will, on the programme, consider all aspects of criminal law, including issues of terrorism, human rights, migration, cybercrime, economic crime, and mental health law. Your studies will encompass the laws in different jurisdictions and how they are applied internationally. You'll be offered, and we'll take a look at these in a moment, a varied selection of taught modules from which you can choose. And this enables you to gear your qualification to your desired career path and specialism. Now, you don't have to choose your modules until you've had the opportunity to learn about them in greater detail during what is a very comprehensive induction period at the beginning of, just before the beginning of teaching. Professor Peter Aldridge has written a lecture and would like to provide a taster lecture to you on the topic of dealing with corruption by heads of government, Trump's legacy, and that will take place on the 14th of July at 2 p.m. I would encourage you to attend, and I believe Petrova will be sending out invitations shortly after this webinar. You can read about Peter Aldridge in greater detail online, but he has published widely in this field and is a very eminent expert on several topics, including money laundering and corruption. So let's just go through the structure of the programme, because although this information is available online, it can be easier to understand if talked through. So the full year programme this year has two different start dates depending on which suits you best. There is the starting date in September and there is the later starting date in January. You will need to do 180 credits in total, and these consist of 150 credits of taught modules and 30 credits by a dissertation of 10,000 words. And the dissertation is a very important part of the programme, as this is where you will really fine-tune your skills as an independent researcher. Now, in terms of how the year plan will work and the different dates that will apply, this will of course depend on which your starting date is. And I hope very helpfully on the website we have links to take you through the details of that structure, depending on which your starting date is. There is also the option of taking the accelerated 9-month programme. Again, it's 180 credits, but here there is 120 credits of taught modules and 60 credits by dissertation of 15,000 words. So how do you divide or spread those credits over the programme? This is something that you will want to give some thought to, depending on which modules you want to take. So if we are starting a 12-month programme in September, then you will want to take between 30 and 60 credits in the first semester, which would be September to December in this case. And then in the second semester, which we call B20, so the second semester 2020, between January and April, you would want to take between 60 and 90 credits. And then in the third, between 30 and 60 credits. So this includes your dissertation, which is 30 credits. And many students like to get all of the taught modules done to enable them to focus entirely on the dissertation in the last term. Of course, it's a matter for you, and it will depend on your module choice. So starting in September, your dissertation will be due in August, and you will look forward to graduating in December 2021. If you were starting your 12-month programme in January, then you will need to do between 60 and 90 credits in your first semester, which will be January to April, and then between 30 and 60 credits, including your dissertation, which is 30 credits. And then in your last semester, which in this case would be September to December of 2021, you will take between 30 and 60 credits. In this case, your dissertation will be due in December, and you will graduate in the summer of 2022. And then lastly, the accelerated programme, you will need to take 90 credits in the first semester, 90 credits in your second semester, and this will include your dissertation, which is 60 credits. And the dissertation is 15,000 words, and would be due in September, and you would graduate in December 2021, like those doing the 12-month programme starting in September. Okay, let's have a look now at what modules are available. So these are the specialism modules, so the modules from the criminal justice programme. And remember that you can take 60 credits from any of the modules available on the general LLM. But first, I'm just going to go through the ones that are from the criminal justice programme. So in the A20 or A21, so September 2020 or September 2021, the teaching blocks of 5 weeks between September and December. The modules available are Principles of International Criminal Law, which is taught by Professor Phoebe Okoa, Migration and Asylum Law, taught by Dr. Violetta Marino-Lax. And I should mention at this point that the Migration and Asylum Law through practice offers several internships, and you will be contacted about these in due course, but there are 5 places with the European Council on Refugees and Exiles, 4 places with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, 1 with EMIRA, 2 with Kingsley Napley, and 4 with the AIR Centre. The other modules offered on this first term are Policing in Local and Global Contexts, taught by Dr. Saskia Hufnagel, and EU Criminal Law, taught by Professor Valsamis Mitselegas. Those that are available in B20, so that's January to April of 2021, are Mental Health Law, Capacity to Consent in Best Interests, taught by Dr. Ruth Fletcher, Enforcement of International Criminal Law, and that is the second part to the one on the slide before, which is Principles of International Criminal Law. So the second part, and the two do have to be taken together, is Enforcement of International Criminal Law. Then we have Terrorism, Migration and Human Rights, taught by Professor Elspeth Guild. We have Crimes of the Powerful, Corporate Crime, taught by Dr. Thomas McManus. Law of Economic Crime, Corruption, taught by Professor Peter Aldrich, who will be giving the taster seminar on the 12th of July. Then Cybercrime, Substantive Offences, taught by Professor Ian Walden. International and Comparative Data Protection, taught by Professor Anne Flanagan. And lastly, a new course of Artificial Intelligence, Human Rights and Migration, also taught by Professor Elspeth Guild. For the semester C20, so that's June to July of 2021, we have Terrorism, Human Rights, Constitutional Perspectives, taught by Elspeth Guild. Crimes of the Powerful, State Crime, taught by Dr. Thomas McManus, and Cybercrime, Forensic Investigations by Professor Ian Walden. Now this semester would probably be the best semester in which to take your options from outside the LLM specialism. And I would encourage you to start looking now at the choice available, because it is huge. Now I've given you some examples from the broader LLM, and I've picked ones that are sort of obviously linked to criminal justice here. So it might be fundamental questions in the law of treaties, which will be relevant to many areas of transnational crime. Then there's the course on autonomy, consent and confidentiality, key terms in criminal justice. Human rights, international law on rights of the child, finance law, banking law, corporate finance law, all of which might be incredibly helpful if you are taking the courses on economic crime. But this might be an opportunity also for you to take an optional module that has absolutely nothing to do with criminal justice, or not anyway at first sight, and to really broaden your horizons and take an opportunity to get that extra expertise in. So, when do you need to select your modules? Well, you need to select them shortly after the induction program. So that's after you've had an opportunity to hear from the course leaders about the content of the course and its assessment methods. But certainly in relation to the options from the bigger LLM, I'd say start looking now and just having a think. So you won't be rushed, but it's nice to take your time over these things. So why not take a look if you can. In terms of the assessment, well, you will be assessed by a range of methods, combining examinations and coursework, which generally are due after the teaching period, but this will be fully explained to you in your student pack that you'll be given during induction. And then, of course, there is the dissertation, which is very much self-directed work. So this is your area. You come up with the research question with support, of course. And in terms of the support that's provided, there is, as I've already mentioned, the critical thinking and writing skills workshop. There are also dissertation workshops with the LLM director, dissertation workshops with module conveners, and of course, individual supervision sessions with your dissertation supervisor. As I said, this information is all available online, and that is the link to find out about it in your own time. And now I will stop sharing screen view and see if you have any questions. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Amber. I would just like to encourage the audience to ask any questions and use the Q&A box. I've noticed somebody in the chat box has asked, is the program scheduled to commence on campus in September 2020? So we are scheduled to start our programs in September. We are offering a blended learning option for students. So that means that some of the modules will be available as distance online. So we'll be having online lectures, online delivery, but also students are able to come into campus as well. So we're trying to have a flexible approach for those that can come into campus. There will be learning and the program will be delivered face-to-face, but also if you're unable to come in, especially in the first semester, then that will be available online. And it won't be just a sort of just pre-recorded lessons, it will be interactive learning with lectures and workshops and how the convener of the modules will deliver their particular session. Any more questions, please feel free to submit those, and we're quite happy to have a chat with you now.
Well, I think I must have given a good informative slides then if you've got no questions yet, but you can always ask questions later, is that not right?
Yeah, it was a very comprehensive session. Yes, thank you very much. And someone has just come through on the chat to say it was very helpful. Thank you, Sanja. And just to reiterate that we are open and we are offering the blended learning, and we have tried to adapt the program so that if it's impossible for people to start in September, you can start in January. And Amber quite comprehensively demonstrated the 12-month route and also the 9-month. Now, just to highlight that as attractive as the 9-month accelerated program may seem, it is a very intensive program. So please bear that in mind, because you see the number of credits that you need to accumulate as well as submitting a dissertation. So it really is something to really don't just jump into the 9-month program, really do pay it some thought. And if you have any more questions about it and the support, then do get in touch with us. We're happy to help. Some people may want to opt for the 12-month program starting from January, and you can contact admissions and defer from September to January if you want to. You don't have to do that right away, because you may be wanting to see how things pan out for you for joining in September. So yeah, so that's as much as I just wanted to reiterate to the group. Well, again, just to mention that you will receive invitations for the taster class. So please feel free to just log on to that session. You will have to register. And you will get the Zoom, it's exactly the same. You'll get the Zoom invitations. They're scheduled to come out to you and to other offer holders. And please do come on and have a taster. You'll get to meet one of the prestigious academics from the program delivering a session from his book. These are exclusive. We don't offer taster sessions out normally, but because of COVID, we realised that it's quite important that we do have more for students to engage with before they start the program. So again, please make sure that you sign up and join. And yes, so if there is no questions, I've seen that some of you guys are looking to engage with each other. That's fine. But if there are no sessions, we will close the actual event in the next couple of minutes. And I'm going to hand over to Amber for any final word. Just also to let the audience know that we are one of the largest LLM programs in the UK, as probably also in Europe. We have a vast array of modules, so you can tailor your modules to your interests and to study outside of your specialism. We are ranked I think we're ranked about 30th with the QS worldwide rankings for law schools, and we attract students from literally all over the world. I've met some of our criminal law graduates from Thailand. We've had students working for governments, in the judicial system. So you will be engaging with students who are experienced and some who may not be experienced, but we do have a lot of experienced legal professionals from all over the world that join this particular program, and some that work for government as well, and some that are working in practice or working as judges. So just to encourage you on the diversity of the cohort. And though we will be starting online, we will be developing our sessions so that you do get to engage. So you won't be just sat in front of a pre-recorded lesson and that's it. You will be engaging with each other. And I can see that you're a crowd that do want to engage, because you're already engaging on our webinar, which is fantastic. But you do share your information. That is, you've given your permission to do that, and you have put that in a public space, so just be mindful of that. But otherwise, I'm just going to hand over to Amber just to give a few closing remarks, and then we'll just end the session. So and we'll finish up soon. Okay, thank you, Amber. I'll let you.
I just wanted to say thank you very much for joining. I'm really looking forward to meeting you. We will touch base again in September for the induction period, and I wish you as relaxing a summer as possible in the meantime. Thank you.